Hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome to another after show for Animal Kingdom. Tonight we're breaking down Season 2, Episode 3. There was new fences, new kisses. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Find out right after this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Headbang. It's just like
no,
like
we can't.
in her hair.
We can't. Exactly, in the green truck.
Yeah.
It sounds like something
the
they
top
listen
down,
to, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just got done surfing.
Yep. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm your host, Alina Vision. You can follow me on all social media at Alina Vision. That's Vision with 2 S's. And as usual, I'm joined by my girls. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, I am Layla Raad, and you can find me on Instagram at Laylizzle.
Hey, and I'm Leslie Ambriz, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
Whoop whoop.
All right, let's do this.
What
we're
an
gonna
episode.
I know, we're going to have the chat open as normal. So if you're watching us live on YouTube, feel free to comment in. We love listening to you guys, reading your comments. Same with the comments on YouTube. There were some good predictions.
Yeah, you guys are on
this
it.
last week.
There was things that even like I was like, oh,
I know.
I would have never thought
exactly,
of that. Yeah,
exactly. So, hey, what's up? We already got people in the chat. Jasmine
Jasmine.
Odin, Sam
Hi,
Jones.
guys.
Hey, what's up? All right, so let's jump into this because a lot happened.
Do
okay.
you see these?
Let's jump
You
I
guys
know
into
our
wanna
this.
notes
see my
are really,
notes?
Like
really
Smurf
crazy.
jumped into
back to back.
Like
Exactly.
Smurf jumped into
my
Jay.
Like Smurf jumped into Jay. Let's talk about that first because all of us were like, what is going on right now?
It was kind of like a look of just like, ooh.
So
It was like
impressions.
gross, but then it was like, oh no!
It just got
Like,
worse
stop!
and worse
Don't get
every
closer.
time. I was so scared at that point when she like straddled him on the bed that I was like, oh no, clothes are gonna go flying. I'm gonna feel uncomfortable about this. I'm gonna have to look away. But thankfully they cut away. We don't know if they just held hands.
Just
we're
the
good.
thought
But
of that.
still,
we're good.
the way they were holding hands,
They
I don't hold
interlocked.
hands like that
Yeah.
with
Your
like
grandpa?
Yeah, my grandpa.
Isn't that weird? Imagine him on you.
Yeah, and like looking
hey,
into his
sweetie.
eyes, like no,
I know.
I just don't do that. But you know what's funny is like we haven't gotten the incest vibe for a while,
Yeah.
Right.
especially like towards the end of last season. So now I feel like they're kind of reintroducing it.
Yeah. Just not with Jay.
Well, everyone else is gone.
I know, but I feel
Right.
like he knows better. But maybe this is all part of his secret plan that we've predicted for the end of the season.
Maybe. What do you think?
I don't know. You know, so when she kissed Jay, I just thought like that was the initiation. Like that
right.
was it. Like he's part of the Codys. Like she's down for him. You know, because
Maybe,
usually
yeah.
it's like all the other ones. Like I don't know. They've just been hesitant about Jay this entire time. So after that, and then I mean, especially after that little heist that they did, which
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna get into.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that was like the kiss of death. Like that's it. You're mine. Like I own you.
And how do we feel about the way she goes, baby, baby?
I
Like she
know.
calls him
She's
baby.
always
I mean, she
done
calls
that, though.
right, but
Yeah.
now it adds an extra level of like what is going on.
Now it's just
Yeah.
creepy.
exactly. Exactly.
But at the same, I don't know. I
Let's-
don't know where they're going with this. I hope it's just for this episode. I
It's
feel very
never just
uncomfortable.
for
I
this
know.
episode.
I feel very uncomfortable watching it.
Do you think this is the beginning of Smurf and Jay?
Yeah.
Like Team Smurf Jay?
This was like you said, like not only was the kiss the initiation, but that heist that they did was the initiation that kind of she's like, okay, I can trust him.
Yeah.
She thinks he's a natural. She thinks he's maybe a natural kisser too. But like good sorry, too far. But she's more amped up about him, it seems, than these other boys that she used to kind of raise up and train.
Like Jay's like her
Right.
favorite
Yeah.
now.
But clearly, of course, he'd be her favorite because he's the only one left at the
Yeah.
house. Everyone else is gone. She knows they're pulling their own jobs.
Right.
She knows, you know.
She knows that he doesn't know her that,
that well.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So
I
that's
think that
probably
was
what's
really
gonna-
apparent in this episode because he was asking a lot of questions. He was being very inquisitive. And we
Yeah.
found out a lot about Smurf's past
Absolutely.
through him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I appreciate Jay for that.
Right.
Because he answered a lot of questions that we've all had as viewers, right? From episode 1. Like,
Right.
well,
we
we've
learned a lot
always
more about Jay.
viewed the show from Jay's point of view, so I think they're kind of playing back into that with that. instance, you know?
Right, with that scene,
Yeah.
definitely. So, speaking of Smurf, let's see what people in the chat are saying. Jasmine says, I couldn't believe she kissed him, her own grandchild on the lips. Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't like a, quick kiss, like peck or what. It was like she went in
Very
slowly.
sensual.
Yeah, it was very
Like she knew what she was
sensual.
doing. Yeah. Given that she had
And
a few
he didn't
drinks.
pull back. He was
Yeah.
he just kind of took it in.
He didn't.
He didn't react like, "Oh, grandma, what are you doing?" He was just like, "Oh, okay."
Do you think it's part of like his plan?
Maybe.
Just
I
let
think
her
it might
let
be,
her think that I'm totally down for
Yeah.
whatever, and
I think it might be like keep your friends close but your enemies closer
closer.
kind of deal. And
I think for him, it's like, hey, well, I need my allowance.
right. No.
That's
What
what
was
I
that again?
think.
Well, yeah, just like that, just like that. Let's see. Croft 2009 says, but we always knew, or it was implied that she abused Poe.
Yeah, but we never saw it. That's the
Right.
That's
There
the
was
difference.
definitely
yeah.
some clips or some shots of them that implied it, but we
Yeah.
never.
We never saw it. This is the
yeah.
first time that we actually see her engage in some sort of.
Except for wouldn't she like smack Craig on his ass?
Yeah,
and-
but that's
it's still weird.
It's weird,
Still
but
weird.
it's not as
Yeah.
it's not
Not
as
as
much, you know.
face to face as the kiss.
There we go.
All
Do
right.
you think she did that with Manny?
I think I don't know. I think
her and Manny
all
were
of this
definitely-
sexual stuff that we're talking about. Do you think
maybe.
You mean
Because-
Javi or
No.
No.
No,
Manny.
Manny, yeah.
Manny's funeral, right?
Yeah.
The guy
Right. I mean, it could have been because she was 16 years old, we found out, when Manny found her. So maybe in some way she was abused by him because he seems to be older than her.
Much
So,
older,
right. So
yeah.
maybe that is kind of where she gets this whole, she knoes now how to operate people and how to get them on her side and make them feel like, oh, baby, you're mine and you're so smart, you're better than all the others.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where clearly she learned it from Manny.
Do you think this kind of sounds like Jay was Smurf and Smurf was Manny? Do you think that's how they started?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty much.
It seems like that's a common thing because even when Javi is talking to Jay at the party at the table, he's like, "Oh yeah, she took you in. Like that's just what she does."
like he's
He
jealous.
already he was jealous, but not
Gross.
only
Already
he
knows.
already knows like how these people work because he's been with them for even longer.
He's probably like, "Hey, has she kissed you yet?"
All right, so getting back to Smurf, has to go to Manny's funeral. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It is a rough crowd. Like from the jump off. It is a really, really rough
Seriously.
crowd.
Yeah.
Javi obviously is there, and we find out more about him, which I was really happy to do.
he's a scary dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely had a rougher past. And he asks Jay, does she talk about me?
Yeah.
And we come to find out that he was actually 10 when, he was involved with Smurf and Manny and Jake.
He was definitely abused by Smurf too.
Because he had that little, smelling her hair.
Yeah, there was that.
I was
scene.
just
There was-
disgusted that entire scene. I'm like,
Just this
who
whole
are you? What
episode
did you
was a
guys
lot
do?
of just, like cringing back and being like, did I really just see that?
Yeah.
We did. When we were watching it, we were like, ooh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we all watched the show. All of you guys online did too. What exactly happened with Smurf and Javi? I know we're
What do
talking
you mean
about
the
it, but
scene
like,
that what he talked about with her when she went outside with Manny and they were
no,
talking?
just in general. Like, what do you guys think is the actual story? Because I'm still kind of confused. Like, I still
Right.
don't
What
know.
I think is she was all alone. Manny found it. It's gonna be very.
So is Manny
summarized.
Javi's dad?
No, she
No.
tells Jay that Javi's dad was some other guy that used to be like involved with them, and then he ended up taking off when they're in the hotel room before Jake gets there.
Yeah.
I think Javi is Smurf's son, Smurf and whoever that guy was that took off,
Oh,
and that's why there's
interesting.
more. That's why there's more revenge towards Smurf, and that's why maybe he was so loyal to Manny.
But that's your prediction?
That's my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume obviously that they all I feel like it's implied that they all work together, and it was kind of like what the Cody family is now.
Yeah.
That's what Manny's family
And that they all
was
slept
with
together
Smurf.
and that she has like
Right.
18
Yeah.
kids out
See,
there.
what I heard from that was that she took him in, I think.
Right. That's
To
what I was
Kavi.
Right,
thinking, too.
to Kavian,
Okay.
exactly. Because he said that he was thrown out when he was only 10 years old.
Correct.
Okay.
And he remembered her talking to Manny, I believe it was, like telling him just to let him go. And then that's when she said,
That's when she decided
you
to
know,
take
oh,
him
it
in.
looks like you've done fine on your own and all of that. But yeah, they were kind of considered a family at that
Okay,
time.
I
Like she cooked
misunderstood
for
that
him
point then.
and all of that. Like she
And
normally
all of
does
this
at the pool.
happened at the Smurf residence.
That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like. There's
because
a
he
pool.
said at the pool, and I didn't see
There
no
was also
pool
a
at
pool,
Manny's
yeah.
house. Did you see
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Yeah,
could've
where
been
Jay,
at
where Jay was walking
Right.
out, where Jay was just waiting for them while they were having
there
their
was a pool
conversation.
there.
Yeah, so that's why I was so confused. Unless she was living 2 different lives and she had 2 different families.
That could have been. I mean, Baz is doing it, so.
True.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see what people
there's a
are
lot
saying
of
in the
chat.
chat is going off. So yeah, let's see. Croft 2009 says, but we always knew it was implied that okay, she abused Pope. That's right. She also says, sorry, didn't Pope climb into bed with her at some point? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I hope Jay is up to
So
something.
it's like
yeah, I hope he is
implied,
too.
but yeah, like I said, this was the first time we actually saw it
Saw it.
happening. Yeah.
And Sam Jones says, Jed said, I will put a bullet in your skull. Yeah, that was a really intense scene.
Especially, I think the wording is the most important.
Right.
Because she said, if that happens to me, promise you'll put a bullet in my skull. He doesn't say that first part.
But he's a badass now,
Yeah.
so he's like
Or so
But
he's
I don't
trying
know.
to be
I don't know
very
if that.
smart
Do you
about
think
his
that
word
wording
usage.
has like symbolism to like what could happen, like foreshadowing wise?
You know what I think? I don't think. This is what I think. I don't think anyone genuinely loves Smurf.
No.
right now.
They love the money. That's why they're doing all of this. So I feel like that was his way of, like, in a sneaky way, getting a way of saying, like, I will kill you
But just
if I
Give me my
yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that open
Do you
credit
think that
card.
would happen this season, or that's just something that they're kind of setting into place for seasons to come?
I don't-
Prediction.
I know. That's a prediction. I don't think obviously she's
intertwine
too
it,
big of a character to
Yeah.
lose.
See, Sam Jones agrees with me. It felt like a foreshadow. Hey, there we go, Sam. There we go.
Yeah. So, and speaking of what she was telling him, like if I ever start talking, you know, just nonsense like Manny was. Turns out Manny had recorded himself. The doctors had told him to record himself, just telling stories. So I guess we can get into that with predictions. What you think is on the tapes that Javi now has.
Dirt on Smurf.
Yeah, clearly.
There
Because
we
you
go.
could see when Jake came to tell her about those tapes, she looked kind of shook.
Yes.
Like, uh-oh, everyone's going to know my business now.
And we only see that look on Smurf very few times. in the
Do you
show.
think that's what Smurf went to Manny's room for? And then Javi came in?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Before
doubt
he
it.
sniffed
Yeah.
her out?
She was
doubt
looking
it.
for
Thought of that.
anything that led back to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a smart
There's always a trail, guys. There's always a trail.
Smart,
Don't
smart
do crime.
cookie. All right, let's move on to Pope, because he had kind of a big storyline this
Yeah.
episode. Church. I feel like church is really doing good for Pope.
I think so,
Right?
too.
It seems like he's been in church before too, or I don't know. You know how a lot of like cons will like read the Bible while they're in jail.
There's nothing
True.
else to
Yeah,
do.
it
Right.
seems like
That and
he's-
push-ups, yeah.
Yeah, they come out very spiritual and very strong.
Yes.
But he's like the way that he was just like analyzing like the different verses in the chapter and how he totally told that guy off like in a nice way of like, no, like that's not what it means. Like you have to look at the like broader picture and not just
Right.
like try to fluff it up and make it so everyone. I was really impressed by that. I was like, oh wow, okay, Pope. I feel like it led back to his character name, which we
Right.
don't really know the
Interesting.
background to that.
Yeah, true. I thought, I don't know. So I thought Pope felt comfortable there. However, when the Bible study started to get real into Jesus, you know, he was feeling uncomfortable. Because I feel like he can only handle it for so long. And you can tell that he has this type of like OCD or ADD or, you know, whatever.
He has a
Like
little
he just,
twitch, yeah.
yeah. Like he just couldn't stay still. especially in church. Like, I just felt like he felt uncomfortable after they started talking about Jesus or,
Right.
you know, a little more than he thought that he could handle. So I feel like that's what made him kind of lash out at the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, could be, definitely. I think that obviously him talking about the scripture the way he was talking about and interpreting it his own way made Amy look at him like, oh, this is kind of hot. Like, he was turned
on. He knew his word.
Exactly. He's got his own
like,
word
he's a man of
going
God.
on.
Pope, Andrew.
But the fact that we found out that she had something to hide too.
Yeah.
So that made her trust him.
Trust him, and it probably makes him like her a little bit more.
She
to know
became
that-
Yeah.
like, his Jesus talk was sexy to her, and her dirty past was sexy to him.
Go figure.
So
This
they're
is
gonna
Animal
get together,
Kingdom.
and he's gonna adopt Lena.
And they're gonna live happily ever after. And
I
hope he
like-
doesn't kill anybody
I
else.
like Pope and Amy though. I like
Me
this
too.
whole
I do
scene.
too.
Like, I'm feeling a type
I feel like
of way
he met
about
his
Pope.
match, you know? She's going to be the perfect one to kind of call him out and help him on his storyline, but I feel like the family's going to get in the way of that. Pope's
You
never
think?
going to have a happy
I don't
ending
know. What
with
if
the
she's
show.
dark herself, and then they start?
Oh goodness,
Pulling
getting
each
corrupt.
other.
Like everyone's getting corrupt.
I mean,
I don't know.
That would be, I could
I
see it
like-
going that direction more than a redemption
right?
area, yeah. Because this show, everybody's screwed up, you know?
It
It's
is
not a
true.
happy
Yeah.
show.
It's true.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're together. I feel a different aura about Pope.
Me too.
I feel like, I don't know, especially him and Lena, he's taking care of her, he's being responsible, he's cooking and cleaning. Oh my God, when he walked into Baz's house,
know.
that place was a disaster. It was
horrible.
disgusting.
I know. Disgusting.
Beer everywhere. I mean, a little kid can't live in that.
Yeah.
Cannot live in that. He's
Yeah.
just, it's still not being such a great
Yeah,
dad.
Baz is the worst, and I love that Lena brought up the question of like, oh, why isn't Daddy sad?
Yeah. Well, first she brought up the question of, is mommy dead?
Yeah.
And
So sad.
Yeah, Pope's reaction to that. That made me kind of think, did she see something that night that's like subconsciously?
And maybe she's kind of
right. And I
Dude,
think
what
he
if she's
probably
playing
thought that
games
too.
with Pope?
she's like
Right.
Jay. She's
She's
super
like,
Let's see
smart.
if he
yeah.
tells me this. Let's see if he tells me the truth.
Maybe. I mean, she's definitely very intuitive, and I think people don't give kids enough credit to that. They pick up
Yeah.
on a lot of
Oh,
different things.
absolutely. Yeah.
And she's like, well, then why isn't Daddy sad? Like, he's got another chick here. He's gone. He's, you know, being mean to me. So,
Yeah.
poor girl.
I feel bad for Lena.
Oh, yeah.
But go Pope for playing the dad.
No kidding.
Right?
Do you guys
playing the
think,
daddy role.
going back to Pope and Lena real quick, do you guys think that scene when he grabs the pot was kind of like his own punishment to himself because he's the source now of like Lena's sadness?
I'm like, should we do this for predictions? Because
Am I bringing up too many predictions? Sorry.
I gotta write that down. So pan and
okay.
predictions, and also
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come
Okay.
back to that. We're gonna put a pin in that. If you guys in the chat want to like join in and say what you think the whole pan scene was about, we'd love that. And also, if you guys are watching us on YouTube later on, put it in the comments.
Yeah,
We'd
please.
love to know what you guys think this whole situation is about.
I like how everyone's talking about Pope.
Yeah,
too.
so let's
Like, I'm glad
hop
someone
in
likes
the chat. Let's hop in the chat. Let's see. KDog679 says it was weird when she got on top of Jay. So that was meaning Smurf. Yeah, totally weird, totally inappropriate. Jasmine says, I was shocked about Pope knowing scripture. Yeah, at least someone loves Pope. Yeah.
It's true. No, but you know,
But he doesn't want anyone in the family to know about
Absolutely.
Amy
About
because he
Amy,
even
no.
told Lena, don't say anything.
because he
Right.
knows that
Yeah.
they're gonna screw her over and something's gonna happen to her. The minute that family finds out about Amy, she's in danger.
Well, it's kind of like Darren not telling Smurf about his bar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, the less you know, the better.
Better.
For so many reasons.
Because Smurf would ruin that too.
For
you
so
know?
many reasons, yeah.
What a family to be.
Jeez, I know.
You can't share any excitement
know.
with
That
them because
thing.
they'll just come back.
Aren't you
at
glad you have the family you do now?
Yes. It's
like, no complaints.
Hashtag blessed. All right, let's move on to Baz. Speaking of Lena and Pope and Baz being horrible father, people in the comments agreed with us last week. He's just being
the
the
worst.
absolute worst.
Yeah.
Goes off to Mexico to get stuff for the job that they're
Right.
supposed to pull. Also, obviously, to see Lucy.
To see Lucy.
And we were introduced to a new character, Lucy's brother, who
No, we met Marco before.
right, we did.
Yeah.
But I mean this season.
Oh, okay, this season, yeah.
Who wants, you know, kind of to work with Baz, to pair up with Baz. And Baz is not really having it per se.
He wants to do his own thing.
He wants to do his own thing. But then Lucy brings up the bracelet.
Right.
So, do we think that it's a good idea for him to pair up with Marco?
Now,
Or-
this is Lucy's bracelet. We know that, right? But where did she get it from?
I know
Oh,
they mentioned it, but
like,
I
why
don't
is
think
it-
might
know
have
it.
missed
I don't
it.
think we know
It's
if
Does
just a
anyone in the
valuable-
chat? Maybe you guys picked
I
up on
think
something.
because what he was saying is he has these new, you know, I guess robberies that he's pulling of tourists.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think
It's just
it
a-
might have been something
Oh.
from a tourist, but
A
I'm not
tourist
quite
bracelet.
sure. Yeah, I could have been writing down
Yeah,
something
'cause-
and totally missed that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know
Right.
if it was part of that like heist. Remember that
Right.
they did with all the jewelry and the watches and all that. So I didn't know if that was leftover. And Baz gave it to her to Lucy, but it doesn't sound like it was Baz's possession at some
No,
point.
because
yeah.
he was like, "Oh, the bracelet." Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
I guess he wouldn't question it that much when he went to go see Gia. So
Right.
the Persian rug lady.
Yeah. Yep. So what else? Yeah. Speaking of who we thought was just the Persian rug lady.
Yeah.
I know.
Come to find out,
I
she's
know.
the fence.
Yeah.
Which I love the people in the comments because they actually put that last week that it's fence, and I had no idea that
I
there's an
didn't know
actual
what a fence.
term.
Neither did I.
I know. I learned something new. Thank
what
you
is
to the
it?
fans
Teach
out
me,
there.
'cause I didn't read
So
the
a
comments.
fence is a person that will pretty much sell off like what you bring to them as far as like, you know, kind of like what she's doing with the bracelet. She'll find a buyer, sell it. So it's a person that finds a buyer for whatever criminal stuff. you got
Okay,
going
okay.
on.
Because
Yeah.
it rids the like trail off of them.
Exactly.
So she's like the middleman for the cons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, got
yeah.
it. Got it.
Just how Smurf was telling her last week, you know, you're going to have to cut up that diamond because it's really rare. So
Oh,
that way
right.
it won't be traceable. You can sell it, then, you know.
Oh my
the
gosh.
money. I know.
She
Right.
learned.
Talk
She
about
does,
professionals.
She does the hard work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Once
She
they
does
do
the hard work. She
once
knows
they
the
do the heavy
buyers.
lifting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got
People
it.
that'll buy all of that.
All right. Thanks
So
for
we
explaining.
learned all about that. And Baz decides to take the bracelet to her. And she says, no,
Yeah.
can't really work with you. He figures out Smurf got to her. But then, being the smart guy he is, decides her assistant, I would guess you would say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assistant.
Our assistant.
Should be made into his new fence. And it looks like she took the bait.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
Oh,
she's seen how
girl.
much money comes.
Right?
Yeah, but
comes
God
in
bless
and
her
out of
soul
them.
because
Yeah.
if Gia finds out, who knows what kind of power she has over her.
That'll be another prediction.
I kind of like this Gia character.
Sorry,
She's
guys,
got
I
some
mix predictions
attitude.
into my
She's a little
analysis.
sassy. I like her.
She is.
Yeah.
She
She
is.
is. She's good. I like her. We had some chat.
Up
more
in the
people there.
chat. Sam Jones says Lucy kind of set Baz up in a tight situation where her brother may die as a consequence.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, very interesting.
That's a good one.
Cody says, love them
you
boys.
think will die first?
Minus Baz. Yeah.
Who do you think will die first?
Who do you think will die first? I don't know.
I want Baz to die first. I don't know if he will, but
Wow.
I don't know if I
Why?
want any of
he's
the
just such
Cody
a
brothers
horrible
to
father.
die.
I just can't stand him.
I want him to get his act together. I don't want Lena to be without a mother and a father.
It's okay. She got Pope. She's
That's
good.
true. That's true.
She
Yeah,
got Pope
that
and
is
Amy.
true.
She's set.
He's yeah.
What do
he's
you
the
guys
best thing
think
she
about
has
that
right now.
line when he was like, when Pope said, I grew up without a dad and I'm okay, so you're going to be okay?
I think that was him telling himself that everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So he was projecting it towards Lena, like,
Right.
don't worry about it, you'll survive,
Yeah.
little girl. Stop asking questions.
Yeah.
I thought
Like,
it was
stop
more
making
of
me
his
feel bad that I
therapy.
killed your mother.
Yeah.
When I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, well, that's debatable, but we'll go with it because
Yeah.
it's going to make her feel better. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Baz and Lena and that whole. Hopefully,
Yeah.
he'll be able to get his act together because right now he's just the worst, the absolute worst.
Well, I totally thought he was going to do something to Gia when he was waiting for her outside before he spoke to the assistant. I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. She should have said yes.
Right.
She's
She's
effed up.
done for it. Yeah.
They're going to run her off the road like they do all
Yeah,
their
exactly.
trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
It was set up the way they shot it. It was definitely set up that way. So.
Yeah.
But he
was
went
like,
around
"Eh,
her. And, hey,
Not
that's
looking for her,
smart.
looking for you.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Darren.
Oh, Darren.
He's so cute. Yes. Swoon.
Darren's
so
making
smart.
something of himself.
Good
and I
for
love
him.
it.
Yeah.
Like, bravo to Darren. Clapping for him because he's really taking responsibility for this bar.
Yeah.
And wants to do something that's his own. He has that, entrepreneurial spirit, and I really hope it works out for him.
Yeah. and
I was
oh,
really
go ahead.
proud of him of not paying up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Given
owned
that
up
the
to
guy told
his-
him not
Yeah.
to, like, I'm glad
Yeah.
you're not bribing me. But that said so much where that was like a little piece that we saw where he was really opening up in the show, like, oh, Darren's a really good person.
deep down, and
does
even
stupid things.
the
Right.
story that he gave the
Yeah.
guy, where we learn even more about him. That,
However,
like,
do you think it's completely true? Then again, we don't know if it's like.
I think
That's
it's. I want
You
to
know?
say
It
yes.
It was very
It
convincing.
sounded, yeah.
It was very,
sounded
very convincing.
You know, with this show, they could twist it to where it
Yeah.
was just a BS story, but I want to, just what we've learned about his character so far, I want to say that it is true, because then it gives his character a lot more depth than just the stupid Cody brother.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
He
True.
actually had something that he cared about. It was kind of ripped away from him, and now
Yeah.
he's trying to start all over again.
Very true.
But at the same time, he is a Cody boy, and he's probably been doing this since Jay's age.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a story
Yeah.
that happened, but there was a whole
Oh,
bunch
yeah,
of
he
other
was
stories.
definitely No, he was
he left out
definitely
a big chunk.
pulling
Exactly,
jobs for
exactly.
Smurf in that process. Like,
Yeah.
if this is true, while he was surfing, how else do you think he paid to get to those
Yeah.
surfing competitions?
I feel like him now being under or away from, I guess the umbrella of Smurf has really made him come out and not come out of his shell, but just come out and be more, I don't know, open, I guess you
He's
could
more
say.
confident,
He's more confident, yeah. Like that story was
Absolutely.
really confident. Like he didn't have to rely on the bribe. He was like, you know what, I'm just going to try this. Hopefully
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he was under Smurf's watch, then he would probably be more inclined to give the bribe.
Yeah.
I think he would have just done that and not say anything.
I think he would have not
Right.
even bothered to get
Like,
the liquor license.
Here's the
He
money.
would've just,
Don't ask me anything.
Right, yeah.
Give me the license.
like, pulled a gun up to the guy's
Yeah, for
head kind of
real.
deal. Yeah, it would have gone
Gun to his
south for
skull.
sure.
Yeah.
How funny and how cute is Craig claiming that that's his bar too? The entire time I was cracking up. Like he really cracked us up in this
He did.
episode. I
Craig is
think.
always a comedic relief, and I
But
love
just
the
the things he was
one-liners
saying.
that they give him. Like, he doesn't even
Are you
say
a sink
lot.
girl? A
yeah.
stall girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Bye, sink
hired.
girl, yeah.
That
Oh
was
my
a
God.
really, really funny scene. You
Even
could-
the line with Nicki where she's like, I'm tired, I'm drunk, and I kind of want to have sex. And then he, like, the camera pans away, and then it goes to him, and he's like, yeah, me too. And just, like, walks over to her.
Yeah.
Like, just
Oh, God, Nicki.
those little subtleties are hilarious.
Nikki. Okay.
Nicki-
Nobody's favorite.
Nicki can be the one to die first. There's
Oh, there you go.
my-
Yeah, there you go.
I have a feeling she's going to be around for quite a while,
Oh,
especially
no.
after this episode.
K-Dog think that something is gonna happen to Nicki.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Jasmine says, so happy for my favorite Cody boy. Yep, we are too. And Sam Jones, you're a sink girl. Love that line. We love that line too. That was
That was
great
funny.
writing. Great writing. Sam also says another way to tell who may die first, although I wouldn't really rely on this, is going on, IMDb and seeing because that's
Too many
cheating.
products.
That's too many products.
Who's really
That's cheating.
successful?
That's really funny.
That's
Not
smart.
funny,
Yeah.
smart, but cheating. I get it for sure. Yeah, so Craig, let's talk about Craig and Nicki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. Nicki just doesn't quite get it when people are trying to give her the cold shoulder,
Yeah.
I feel.
She's that girl.
She's so good that
So
it makes
that
me wonder
girl.
if she's really like that. You know?
Right.
Like, shut up. Get out. Like go back to
nobody
Guam
wants you
with
there.
your father.
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
she wants to be part of the Cody family so much.
She's not smart enough to be part of the Cody family. They already had to deal with
No,
Craig.
can you imagine?
Yeah,
Giving
I
her
mean,
one
but
job.
now
Think
she
something
knows.
else?
Now she knows all their dirt. So maybe that was smart of her to just go digging around.
But
in
who's
Smurf's
gonna
room.
believe Nicki? They could easily get rid of her.
By killing her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got rid of Catherine. They can get rid of Nicki.
She just we
They're
don't
all,
know
"Hey,
what
Pope, we
happened
got
to
another
her.
one for you."
He's like, God damn it, I'm back in the game.
Could be. I mean, I thought it was actually really smart, but stupid at the same time of her to go digging around Smurf's room because she was able to kind of put two and two together,
Yeah.
figure out things aren't legit around here.
Yeah.
You
But
were
did
doing
she
some-
really think they were in the first place? She just thought they were some rich family.
I
that-
thought she just
You
wanted
know?
to play dress up like a cuckoo because she was
Right.
drunk
Yeah.
and bored. What else is she gonna do?
Just
She was
inviting everyone
bored.
over.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't your house?
Yeah.
That
But it
is
just
not your
shows
house.
you what kind of dumb little girl she is. Like, no friends. No one wanted to come and hang out with her at this empty house with the pool. Like, that would sound cool if you were 18 or whatever,
Right.
right? But
Yeah.
everyone's like,
Right.
nah, I gotta wash my hair. And then it's like just attention. So she wants friends and attention, and like she's like, what are you doing there? There's nothing for her there.
Please,
There's,
writers,
Craig.
let us know what that storyline is. where
There's
you're going with
Craig. That's
Nicki.
all.
There's
She
Craig.
wants Craig, drugs, booze.
And to feel like a badass.
And
Right,
repeat.
exactly.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Repeat.
That's it. Oh my god, I can't. I don't even want to talk about Nicki anymore.
I think.
So that's on her.
I think we do. We
Wait, you guys.
what?
Jay and Smurf pulling that little.
Yes, that's what I was just about to get to.
We
Okay.
got it.
Wait a minute.
Oh my
Yes.
God, were we?
Because we skipped over that.
We did skip
Yeah.
over that.
Let's talk about this. So the heist is going down, kind of how she was telling Jay about how her and Manny used to pull the heist. Now, when she walked into that diner, or when they were walking up, were you guys even thinking that this was a possibility?
No.
Yeah, neither was
I
I.
thought, you know what? Because the camera pans to this like burly looking guy with his head down. I thought maybe he was someone.
Right.
Me
from
too.
Smurf's
I thought.
past.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Because
Exactly.
they zoomed in on him, and I was like, "Oh, we about to meet someone new."
Yeah.
And he's completely irrelevant.
Yep.
So I love that's the
was
great
good
thing about
direction.
this show.
Yeah.
They do such
Yeah.
a good job with throwing us off in that little instance.
For some weird reason, I thought Jay really meant it. Like, hey, I'll be back. I got to get something from the truck. I don't know. I thought he was gonna leave and do something.
leave her
for
there.
Yeah. I mean, not really leave her there,
Right.
but just leave in the truck and do something.
Right.
But man,
diners at night.
That
guys.
was
That was
crazy.
their sketch.
And, I mean,
what was that? A
just-
Denny's?
it was some truck stop. It
It was similar
random
to
truck
a
stop.
Denny's, but you know what? You know what they should have
Oh,
used?
that's right.
Denny's on demand. That's right, guys. An
Exactly.
ad coming to you because we gotta pay for this. Well, they pay for it so that we can be here. But you guys, Denny's has always been a place where America can come get their favorite breakfast. You go late night meals, you know.
Yum.
You hang out
Like
with your
after
friends
this.
late at night. Yeah,
Yep.
after this, we're gonna go hit up some Denny's. Maybe not, but the cool thing is, the power is in our hands now. So
is
with
it?
Denny's on demand, Denny's has taken the same always open philosophy that's synonymous with their restaurants, applying it now to online ordering. And we basically have a quick and easy way to place a mobile or online order for takeout or delivery for all of your favorite menu items. Those chicken tenders, those pancakes, or
Yes.
like $1 pancakes.
Yeah.
You know, we got
Seriously.
it all. So for a
Grandson
limited time, users who place an order with Denny's on Demand will receive the complimentary, ready for this, guys, Hulu trial and will be able to enjoy their meal while binge watching thousands of hit shows, Animal Kingdom,
Nice.
premiere original content, films, and a ton more. So with Denny's On Demand's new online ordering, your diner favorites are at your fingertips. So just go to dennys.com and click to order online or download the Denny's app, guys. And
Yum.
you're saving
Denny's
yourself
and
time.
Hulu.
Exactly. And you don't have to be at a diner late at night and pray that nobody
Yeah, I
comes in with a gun and a knife.
exactly. Way safer.
They wouldn't do that at Denny's, though.
No,
but
Denny's is
Random
safe.
truck stop,
You're good.
yes.
Yeah. Diners are the best.
that was a crazy scene. Just to see Jay just take over
Yeah.
like that, we haven't really seen him do that. We've seen him kind of be the lookout.
Yeah.
The guy who goes in and scopes out the joint, but we haven't seen him like actually with a gun.
Other than the beginning of the very first episode, you remember when he like got in the truck and he went through the fence?
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's
Pendleton.
true.
So I
That's
feel
true.
like this is
Right.
the season of Jay.
We're seeing badass Jay.
Yeah.
He's coming out.
Uh-huh.
Guns blazing.
We saw intelligent Jay last season.
Yep.
Now we're seeing that physical.
Now we're
action.
seeing the money hungry Jay.
Uh-huh.
He's got
It's
a
like
lot
I
of
gotta
that
pay
Cody
for college.
blood.
Let's get through this. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yep. Let's see. K-Dog 679 says Darren, Craig, and Marco should do the yacht heist. Oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That'd be impressive.
That would be.
Marco's smooth with getting through people with the tourist
Yeah.
heists and everything.
Could be interesting.
IHOP and Waffle House. What are y'all gonna do in response to this?
Hey, sponsor us. There
Who
you
knows?
go.
Yeah.
All right. I think we hit everything. Did I miss anything else?
No, I think we got it all. Just predictions.
Yes, we got so many predictions. I think.
Oh man.
We might be on here for a
Now,
while.
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. The pan scene.
Then we're back.
Why do we think
Uh-huh.
he did that?
I think it was to punish himself because Lena brought up, is mommy dead? Which brings back immediately, if you've done something horrible and somebody triggers that memory back, you're going to feel that guilt again and you're going to feel the pain. So I feel like he was like, that was his little brief moment of, okay, I need to feel something again and I need to feel pain because of the guilt that I feel towards killing Catherine.
All right.
So at first I thought he was feeling remorseful
Right.
and all that, but I actually feel like he's doing this for attention.
The
I know.
hand thing?
Yes.
Oh.
He met Amy. Amy's a great girl. So for some weird reason, I just thought that it was his way of being taken care of. So when Amy was like, what happened? It's like, oh, I burned myself. Like, it didn't really happen in this episode, but I feel like to come, it's kind of like she's going to start caring for him.
That's a good nod. Okay. Look
Okay.
at you.
Okay. So
Just like
I took
Alina,
it
yes.
as he maybe wants to pull out of the church heist now that he's met Amy and is finding God. He saw the pigeon.
Yeah.
Oh my
Come
God.
back to not come back to life,
Like
but
a second
fly off.
opportunity. Yeah.
Exactly. So I have a
mean cat flew
feeling
off.
he injured himself to say, "Oh, I can't do whatever it is I'm supposed to do in that job."
Ooh.
I think that might be why.
Maybe.
That's a good one.
But just a hand burn, you think that'll
Well, he
get
couldn't
him
make it
out?
too obvious.
Yeah.
But if he was saying, I was heating up milk for Lena and I burned myself on that, that's more believable than
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
let me go, shoot myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
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 Exactly. That's not
Oh
so
my gosh, I
believable.
cannot wait for the next
Yeah.
episode.
Do you guys have
then we'll
any other
find out.
predictions or?
Well, I think, somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier. Sorry, I don't remember who, but they said how Lucy could be setting up Baz with that bracelet. So I feel like that could come back. I'd also like to see what happened with those watches. We talked about this last episode.
Right.
That was just kind of an open plot line that I hope that the writers will hopefully close up.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sometime eventually they will.
And then another last one. The last prediction I have is I think I'm annoyed by her. I really can't stand Nicki's character. Actress, I'm sure she's a great person. But I can't stand Nicki's character. But I feel like Smurf now has Jay on her side. She can't depend on the other boys anymore. So I feel like Nicki's going to be her second pool to kind of lure her in. Even though Jay might not like that. None of the boys ever really got along. So she doesn't really need Jay and Nicki to
Right.
get along. She just needs to have control over them.
Another quick prediction I feel like we're going to see more of Gia's assistant that we're calling
Oh,
her.
Yes.
So I feel like that was the introduction to her and the next.
Maybe she'll rise up.
Because they can't really do much without her at this
No.
point. So.
They definitely need her.
that's what I
Otherwise, they
think.
can't go get all those credit cards because they're going to be canceled by the time
Yeah.
they're able to find any
Yep.
buyers. Yeah. So,
Any other thoughts?
I think Nicki, like you said, is going to be Team Smurf.
Yeah.
And she's going to be the way that Smurf figures out what's going on with the boys. So she's going to kind of be the conduit right there. Because clearly she's still going to be with Craig. Craig doesn't want to get rid of her because she knows too much.
Yeah.
So that's where it leads.
She'll probably
Nicki.
spill the beans about the bar too.
Oh, yeah.
She's that dumb.
Oh,
she
for
spills
sure.
everything.
Yeah. She'll be like drinking, be like, "Hey, Smurf, did you know the guys have a
right,
bar
right.
now?" Like, oh god.
All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Where can the good
all
people find you
right.
guys?
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
And you can find me on Instagram at Laylizzle.
And you guys can find me on all social media at Alina Vision, and that's Vision with 2 S's. So until next time, bye. We'll be back same time, same place
that's
next
right.
week. We'll see you guys.
Bye,
Guys, leave some comments.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Because the detective
But-
doesn't come.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.